Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a series review on The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This series includes The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. So usually for my reviews I write out a little script, but this was completely spur of the moment, so I don't have anything written down, so if this is kind of all over the place, I apologize, but I'm going to try and do my best. So The Naturals follows a teenage girl called Casey, and she works at a diner, and she lives with her grandma because when she was young, her mother went missing, but presumed dead. But Casey is really amazing at profiling people, so she can just look at a way a person is dressed, or how they're walking, or even the kind of food that they order, and she can profile them. So because of this, she is recruited by the FBI to join this program for teenagers with these kind of heightened abilities. So she decides to join this program because she thinks it will kind of help her get close to figuring out what happened to her mother. This series basically follows Casey as well as these 4 other teenagers who are part of this program, and basically they're there just to help the FBI solve cold cases that the police and the FBI weren't able to solve. I really enjoyed this whole series. I gave The Naturals 3.5 stars, Killer Instinct 4 stars, All In 4.5 stars, and Bad Blood also 4.5 stars. It's definitely one of those series where the books continuously get better and better. Believe it or not, I actually almost DNF'd The Naturals because for about the first 100 pages, I wasn't really getting into it. So if you're gonna read this series, give it at least like 150 pages because that's really when stuff starts to pick up and get interesting. This series is marketed as Criminal Minds for YA, which is really what it is. Not only are the plots and the murder mysteries of this story really interesting, but I just love the characters, which I think is something that people also really love about Criminal Minds because they have an amazing cast of characters. So I thought I would talk a bit more about the 5 characters that this series follows. So of course, the story is told from the point of view of Casey, and she's a profiler. Then we have Dean, he's also a profiler. There's Leah, who is like a human lie detector. We have my favorite character, which was Michael, and he can like read people's facial expressions. And then there's Salone, who I also really liked, and she is like a walking encyclopedia. She reminded me a lot of Reed from Criminal Minds, but I also really liked her because she was a little bit like a kind of Luna Lovegood type character where she's just kind of strange and she'll just like randomly blurt out these random facts that have nothing to do with anything. But I loved all the characters. They're all pretty funny. Like there was some stuff that did make me laugh, especially Michael. I always like the funniest characters, so that's probably why Michael is my favorite. As for the plots of these books were really well done. There were a couple times where they seem like they're a little bit predictable, but then all of a sudden there'll be this twist that you were not expecting. And these books are just really cleverly written. Like I believe Jennifer Lynn Barnes does have a major in psychology. Actually, let me just look at the back. So she has advanced degrees in all kind of psychology stuff, and she's a professor of psychology. So these are really, really well written. The only kind of negative things I have to say about this series was that I almost DNF'd the first book because it was just a little bit boring for me. It kind of reminded me of my least favorite fantasy trope, which is the training trope where characters have to train in fighting or magic for like the big battle at the end. So in the first book there was this part where they were like training in profiling, and that just kind of bored me a little bit. But then, as I said, about 100 or 150 pages in, the plot really starts to pick up. I don't want to talk too much about the rest of the books in the series because obviously that would be spoiling it, but in the final book, Bad Blood, I wasn't 100% satisfied with the ending. I was pretty happy with it, but there was still just something a little bit unsatisfied about it. There is a little bit of a love triangle in this series, but that is resolved by the second book, I'm pretty sure. Although I have to say, I wasn't happy with who she went with, but that's okay. But I definitely have more positive things to say about this series than negative things. So overall, I really enjoyed this whole series, and I would totally recommend it to anybody who loves murder mystery books or crime books. If you're a fan of Criminal Minds, I would 110% recommend this to you. And yeah, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read this series and what you thought of it, or if you're interested in reading it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!